Hey, how you guys doing? As I said before, we're in a perplexing quagmire. By now, we've all heard about the young lady up there in Baltimore, Karen Gaines, who actually lost her life senselessly. This all could have been avoided. But what I'm hearing in the aftermath of her death now, she's gone. I'm hearing right here on YouTube where you have African Americans or Hebrews or whatever, however you want to identify yourself as, that's irrelevant. But I'm hearing that some people are saying that she deserved what she got. She deserved to be dead. Good job. I mean, one guy actually made a video and he's actually applauding the cops saying, good job. Well done. She deserved to be dead. She's stupid. This bee is stupid. But then in the same breath, he turns around and say, she's the most attractive woman he's seen in a long time. And so in one second you're saying how beautiful she is, the next second you're saying that she deserves to be dead. You see, it seems to me that we have lost our empathy. Some of us have lost our empathy. Our hearts have gotten so cold, so hard. Here we have a young sister, 23 years old. Everything she could have and would have been, all died along with her. We have somebody's mother, somebody's granddaughter. Where did our empathy go? How is it that we can easily say such things and feel no way about saying it? I mean, in 2016, something is wrong, man. And for you to say that she deserved what she got and she was stupid. Remember now, she's 23 years old now. Where did she get that ideology? She picked it up from someone. Whether it was on the internet or in person. This ideology of sovereignty. You see, I keep saying that we're in a very perplexing quagmire. We got this romantic notion and we embrace all these radical ideologies. I mean, we don't even think it out sometimes. Sovereignty. You are in America. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying. You are in America. I'll repeat it one more time. You are in America. Do you know the history of this country? Do you understand what this country does? Do you understand the fact that this country has bases in many countries around the world, whether the countries want them there or not? Do you understand that? But you're teaching this doctrine that gets a lot of people in trouble, correcting your status and all types of nonsense. It might work for a few people, but on the whole, it's not going to work. The system is going to push back. And to some people, it might look like I'm talking away from the subject of the sister in Baltimore, Karen Gaines. I'm not. I'm talking to the situation. You see, all too often when this type of stuff happens, we focus too much on the actual effects, but we don't really stop to study the cause. What caused this young lady to embrace such a doctrine? I'll keep it on nice terms. Such a doctrine, and then to have that kind of something you can become militant in that type of ideology. And if you don't really understand clearly what you're embracing and you don't understand the effects or what can happen when you start to embrace that type of ideology, that's when it can cause a serious problem. And my other question is, didn't anybody see the warning signs? Now, I don't know what particularly happened, but I'm saying, I read an article and it said that she lived and died on social media. So I'm saying that if she's supposedly on social media, somebody should have seen the warning signs. Somebody just should have seen, hey, her thinking process is a little bit off. Maybe I can try to get to her and steer her back in a different direction. That's all I'm saying. Listen, you should never under any circumstance tell anyone, I'm using my words carefully now, anyone who has the power to kill you that you're gonna have to kill me. We should never do that in under any, again, I'll repeat it one more time. I say you should never tell a person who has the power. I'm not saying who has the right. I said who has the power that you're gonna have to kill me. Don't do that. I understand our condition in this country is rough. Believe me, I understand. But see, to some of us who never studied history, this might seem like a new phenomenon, but it's not. So I understand how it can take some of you guys by surprise. But I'm saying, please do not do that. I've seen a video before of this young brother who I think had a knife in his hand, and he was telling the cops to shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Well, they did. He's dead. Don't do that under any circumstance. I repeated it. Don't tell anyone who has the power, not the right, the power to kill you, that you're gonna have to kill me, because some of these people just might do exactly what you said. And some of us have this weird notion about becoming a martyr. You know, well, I'm just gonna be a martyr for my people. That doesn't make any sense, and it's just a waste of life. I already told you, at the rate this is happening, people are gonna forget your name before long. And I can prove that, very, very easily. How many people remember Troy Davis? Oscar Grant? Sean Bell? Rashia Boyd? You still remember some of the new ones, you know. But what about some of the old ones, like Eleanor Bumpers? Some of you have no idea who that even is. Look it up, Eleanor Bumpers. Like I said, there's no glory in becoming a martyr. You might be the person that we need to actually improve our condition. You don't know what the future has in store. None of us do. Something might change in your life. You might come up with a brilliant idea how to turn this whole thing all around. But if you senselessly throw your life away, then what do we have? And especially if you have children to look after, it's never a good idea, because now the child doesn't have you. What good is it? So we have watched way too many movies, man, and we got that Hollywood ideology in our mind. You know, we can go in a blaze of glory. There is no blaze of glory. It's just you being dead. That's it. There's no glory behind that. As I said, it won't be too long before people forget your name. At the rate this is happening, I can guarantee it. Not that I want it to happen, but with what I'm seeing now, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else get killed before the end of this month, before the end of August. Not that I want it to happen. Believe me, that's the last thing I want to happen. But I'm just saying, at the rate this is happening, it wouldn't surprise me. I know for damn sure it's going to happen before the end of the year. I hate to really make these type of videos, man. I really do. And this is actually going to be the last type of video like this I'm ever going to make, because it's too painful and it's too sad, and it's senseless. On so many levels, it's senseless. And I'm on the outside looking in and saying, I see how this could have all been avoided. And I see how when someone embraces a bad ideology, how it can turn their whole life around. It's almost like something like, you know how some people can join a cult? Yeah, and like, for instance, the Heaven Gates cult. Now, from me again, looking from outside, being an outside observer, just looking at the leader alone let me know that something was wrong with this guy. But again, from people on the outside, we can easily see what was going on and say, hey man, this guy don't seem like he has it all together. This guy seems to be crazy. You know, but the people in that movement, in that vicinity, in that environment could not see that, hey, this guy might be a little bit off. They couldn't see it and they couldn't sense it. Again, like Jim Jones in Guyana in 1978, where he led 900 people. 900 people You know that phrase, drinking the Kool-Aid? That's where it came from. And nobody out there, 900 people, couldn't realize, hey man, this guy is crazy as hell. Talking about committing mass suicide. Again, we can study it now. We can see that, hey, because we're on the outside, that dude was crazy as hell. But the ones who are actually in that movement, they get all swept up by these charismatic leaders and so forth, and they forget to think. They just put their thinking, or actually they just give their thinking to someone else to do for them. And whatever they say to do, they do it. It's the same kind of concept. That a lot of us embrace these radical ideologies, and they can say these crazy stuff, and we embrace it. It sounds good to me. We don't even check it out in our own mind and say, you know what? Does this make any sense? Wait a minute. He said to do what? What? Sovereignty? No, man. Nah, that don't make any sense, man. Because this country goes to war all over the place, and they don't care about nobody's sovereignty. We saw what they did in 2011 to Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. That was a sovereign nation, but we don't even think it out. Well, I'm gonna be a sovereign citizen. Like I tell you, that might work for some people, but on the whole, it won't work. Use your brain, people. You're playing with your life. It's not a game. If you're doing it to get fame and notoriety, then hey, if that's what you want to do, just know everything has a price. Are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to take a chance and roll the dice, man? It's your life. Me personally, I wouldn't recommend it. But I know you're not gonna listen to nothing I gotta say because hey, I'm just some guy on the internet, you know. So you're not gonna really hear what I'm trying to say. I'm really trying to reach out to you. That's why I'm not even gonna label this video with the sister in Baltimore's name. I'm not gonna do that. It's not about that. I'm really trying to reach out to actually help you, man. Because I see this dangerous path a lot of us are on. And sometimes I even see people video on YouTube, man, and I actually private message them and say, hey, man, you might want to reconsider the kind of stuff you're putting up, bro, or sister, because I even did it to one sister and say, hey, man, you might want to watch yourself. What you said, that sounds a little bit strange, man, you know. Just check yourself, you know. You don't want to fall into a trap, because there are a lot of traps out there. You don't want to fall into a trap, nor do you want to be a next headline, and nor do you want to be the next headline or the next story. You don't want to be that person. So, like I said, I've always reached out to people. I'm doing my best to try to reach you because I understand the frustration. I understand the pain. But best believe, what's happening now, it's not new, and it's all been planned out. Even our reactions have been planned out. You see, that's what we don't understand. You're dealing with people who are very, very intelligent, and they're very patient. And even if they don't see their plan come to fruition, guess what? They already trained people who coming up behind them to carry out the plan. You see, we I don't know when we're gonna get it. I really don't know. And what I'm talking about is not just one race. There's no such thing as race anyway, to be really truthfully honest. Because when I watch these elite people out there, the elites, they really don't care about race. When you really study them closely, they don't really care about race. That is used to keep the masses divided. Just like they use religion, just like they use sexism or sexuality. It's the same concept to keep everybody divided. Like I said, I feel the pain for the young sister in Baltimore. Believe me, I do. But my questions still remain. Who taught her this ideology? Who? And didn't anybody see the warning signs? Nobody around trying to steer this young lady a different direction and say, hey man, you have a son, you have a child, you don't really want to go down that particular path because it might not end well for you. Was there no sane mentors around her? Or everybody that surrounded her, or that everybody that she surrounded herself with, were they all on the same level of thinking, that believe this ideology was the right ideology? You see what I'm talking about? The cult-like mentality, where we all embrace this ideology, and anybody that thinks differently, we shun them. We call them names. I don't want to be around you. But sometimes you might need to hear that opposing view, just to keep you balanced. I know sometimes we don't want to hear nothing that's contrary to what we believe, but just to keep you balanced, you might need to hear that opposing view. Because you don't want to surround yourself with a whole bunch of yes men, because you never know who's telling you the truth. I don't want to make this video too long, man. This is what happened here to this young lady. It's sad on so many levels, and it's very depressing. Like I said, I hate doing these type of videos, but I saw the warning signs just looking at her own. I saw the arrest video. Well, not the arrest video. I saw a video when she was pulled over by the cops. I saw a lot of mistakes there, and I read a lot of articles too, a lot of stuff that she put out there herself, and I saw a lot of mistakes there again, a lot of warning signs, and just wondering, was I the only one that saw the warning signs? I think not. I think a lot of people saw the warning signs, but I wonder how many actually tried to contact her, that actually knew her and say, hey man, you don't have to go down that route. You don't have to go down that route. Anyway, man, this is a story that they didn't need to be. It didn't need to be. And for those of you that's condoning this kind of stuff, this is one last thing I want to talk about. How is it that we've gotten down this path where we think it's okay for someone to be murdered, for someone to lose their life, and we think it's okay? I've seen it on both sides of the fence, males and females. I remember the brother in Texas that they found him out there in the woods, missing his ears and some teeth, and they said it was suicide. I'm not sure who the hell committed suicide by cutting their ears off, but according to them, they said it was suicide. But I remember reading some comments, man, and some so-called pro-black people, male and females, they were saying that's what you get. He's with a white woman, so that's what he gets, trying to be around them white people. They completely forgot that this was a human being. So the only thing they can see is he's with a white woman, so that's what he got. I even heard that sentiment again when a firefighter just recently, his house was burned down, and many people said the same thing. That's what he get for being with that white woman. So it's okay for his house to get burned down because he's with a white woman. How do we get to this point? Don't we see the humanity in each other anymore? That's what I often wondered. What would this, according to you guys, this black nation look like? Because some of you guys got some really strange way of looking at life and looking at each other. You all gotta have everything in order to go to the next step, or in order to feel any sympathy for someone. You all have to have this in order. You gotta have a black mate. You gotta have this. You gotta have that. I often wonder what that black nation will look like under some of you guys' leadership. And all of a sudden, everybody becomes self-righteous, casting their stones as if they forgot they live in glass houses. It pains my heart to see it when I read the comments. And yeah, I do read comments, and I watch them in other people's video. And I wonder, what could have happened in that person's life for them to actually think it's okay for someone to die because they don't think like they do, or they label them as stupid, or they are with a member of a different race. How is it okay? You're talking about someone's life, and yet you see nothing wrong because, according to you, again, Mr. or Mrs. Self-Righteous. Man, you guys take it easy. I don't know if I could even do this anymore, man. You guys take it easy. I'm out.